and it wounded me dreadful. During my time on the sea, I heard tale of Queen Exile and her penchant for using this land as a kind of vote for all her special shinies. One such shiny be her famed love potion, supposed to attract the drinker's ideal mate to their loins, even if that mate be far across the sea. Old Queen Exile kept the liquid in the skull of her favorite lover. Them damn Templars probably got their hands on it by now, and the potion's bizarre container has me thinking they probably went and tossed it into the ossuary along with the rest of the bones they got lying around. Exile, be you the friend I believe you to be, then find a potion for me, so that I can experience true love once more.
Alright.
Now that the Brine King is nothing but crab meat, his sunken domain, the ancient city of Oriath is ripe for the plundering.
But it's sunken.
My granddaddy once dedicated a good portion of his sailing life trying to hunt down the location of that monolithic city. Then, while he were otherwise indisposed, yours truly tried to follow in his gnarled footsteps, track down the teardrop, a pearl as big as your head, carved with the clues to the city's subaquatic location. I was this close to completing my grandfather's legacy when those damn Templar privateers raided me ship and took off with the teardrop, threw it in their reliquary here in Theopolis. As it were, now's the perfect time to retrieve that dazzling pearl. Think you can nab it for me? I'll make it worth your while. Maybe tick it off the list of things you owe me.
Sure. Again, I don't like her voice. Something about it.
Every cell-dwelling lad or lass knows of Oriath. They call it a city, but more of a slaughterhouse than anything else. Old Salty himself ruled over the place, treating its citizens as morsels from his own personal pantry. Those who weren't devoured outright were picked to try continuous family line. They became fishwives like that pretty young Nessa near ended up being. Well, the Brine King, as you know, was forced into a slumber beneath the ocean, and the city was said to have joined him there as well. A few folk managed to flee from the collapsing coral shards, start new lives for themselves, but I'll be reckoning they left all their valuables behind.
Probably. Or most, anyway.
Were a long time ago now. Them privateers took the teardrop, threw it in the reliquary, then took yours truly and threw me in those goddamn slave pens. Far as I can tell, they never did work out what the teardrop was for. Lucky me, I suppose. It was tough, but with the help of a few other undesirables, I managed to find me way out of them pens and into the reliquary. Made an attempt to burgle back what was burgled from me. Boy, did we sure underestimate the size of them guards the Templars had on the place. Only I managed to escape unscathed. My accomplices weren't to be so lucky. They ended up in Ray classed, much like yourself. Fact, I believe you may have crossed paths. Creighton, Elira, Oak.
Killed them all twice. They were the bandit hordes back in the other place. So yeah, I murdered them all twice. Well, it was less murder. It's quite justifiable. Bannon is alive, and well, no small thanks to you. I'll be willing to guess. Without him being here, I would have lost my sanity or my life a long time ago. Take this as a token of both of our appreciation. Okay, I can choose a flask here. A divine life flask is tempting. Hollowed, new. Quartz, silver. I'm kind of inclined. Well, part of me is kind of tempted in trying for that, but no. This is too nice. Is it? I like the increased duration, because that only lasts 4 seconds normally. So an increased duration is nice, but I'm not sure the Zealot's out thing. It seems like it gimps me a little. Onslaught would be nice. I can't remember what it does though. Kind of inclined towards this. Sure, we'll take it. It's really weird as there's no sound from her now.
Ah,
Good to see you made it back. You look at me with suspicious eyes. Yes, I know you have your apprehensions about me, and my new indwelling spirit. But if it helps a little, I feel innocence stirring inside me, awakening with an odd sense of gratitude towards you. It was, after all, your bite that returned him to humility, allowed the scales to drop from his eyes. If you are to go wandering the city in its current state, be careful where you step. Kitava's cultists are constantly on the prowl, actively seeking food for their god. What's worse, the passage to Kitava's feast is blocked off by 2 large black gates. We call them Kitava's horns, and they are utterly impenetrable to the motions of man. There is but one way in which we can reach Kitava and deprive him of his eternal meal. The staff of Avarius lies somewhere amongst the rubble of the Chamber of Innocence, still billowing with holy power. If you were to find it and return it to me, I believe the power in the staff will act as power enough to break through the horned gates.
Sounds awesome. Oh, he's plenty to say.
While they had me trapped, I heard those cultists' mad gibberings. Their words were akin to that of the Ray-classed cannibals. Nonsensical sentences, accompanied by the most unsettling of cackles. I fear that they have indulged too deeply into Kitava's famed habit, and caught the laughing plague that so often accompanies men and women who choose to engage in the consumption of human flesh.
Is that actually a thing? I'll be interested now. I know there was one ailment called the sweating disease. Basically, I guess you'd sweat a lot, but I do know you'll pee a lot too. Basically, people frequently dehydrate to death. It used to sweep up from southern England up to the middle, and when it reached the border to Scotland, it would stop apparently. Don't know the details why. The Horrible Histories just joked that it was scared of bagpipes. But yeah. So yeah. There's a thing for you to look up if you're interested. Maybe it's the Horrible Histories was wrong, or maybe sometimes I swear there was a joke in Horrible Histories that I didn't get when I was young. That could be like, there's some detail there that I just didn't get. And so, in that point, there could be some detail there I just didn't understand either, as well. So, would have to, it would take, some work, I would have to reread it now, look into other details elsewhere to be sure. So, yeah.
As I'm sure you've noticed, that damnable god Kitava no longer resides on the rooftops, as last you were here. No. The monster has acclimatized himself to Theopolis. He has set up quite the banqueting table for himself. It appears he believes he has a lot of consumption to catch up on. Best I can tell, his new residence lies through the ravaged Oriath Square, and past the canals, now the feeding troughs. Heed my warning, friend. Tread lightly through that area, for those cultists are out and about once more, actively seeking food for Kitava to devour.
I question how much is left for him to devour, considering we were gone a while.
I wouldn't blame you for being curious about the god now dwelling within me. In truth, I'm honored to have been chosen to be Innocence's vessel. You may hear this and think I sound like a pious Templar fool, but it is hard to remain an unbeliever when the gods walk around you, and indeed one sleeps inside you. No need to fear, however. Our poor purity god surely regrets the actions of his past. I can't see him, but I can feel his spirit, wounded and cowering somewhere inside me. At night, I hear him whimpering over his wounds. I must say, you hurt him good. But as much as I feel his pain, I also feel a budding newness in his heart. He is growing again, and relearning the compassion for humanity that he had long since lost.
Well, that's good. That's good to hear. There's something there I wanted to comment on.
I wouldn't blame you for being curious about the god.
He was saying it's hard to remain a unbeliever when the gods walk among you and there's one sleeping in you. Well, true, it would be hard to be an unbeliever, but, well, you can acknowledge a god exists, doesn't necessarily mean you have to be a worshipper. Like if, Yahweh appeared outside my window right now, and, handed me in, some recording equipment, I wouldn't be popping to mass anymore. I would just say thanks. I'll, get you a box of cookies from the shop or something, and that'll be it. Maybe if you could you just wait there? I need to take a photo. But yeah, wouldn't exactly be turning up to mass, every Sunday after just cause. Well, cause it not.
The Chamber of Innocence is exactly where you left it, though cultists and vandals may have had their way with it since last you visited. Innocence himself no longer cares for the place. In fact, I feel a pained revulsion for it, hence why I cannot go myself. But I'm certain you are more than capable of forging a path through that broken temple once again. Back when the cultists took control of the city, the very ground itself shook, as if pained by some dark abomination. The gnarled horns of Kitava erupted from the earth, like spiraling pillars of corruption, weaving together a barrier impeding travelers from moving through the city.
Huh. Cool.
Then it is as I feared. Kitava's strength has grown insurmountable in our absence, and his horns now deny us entry to his feeding trough. Evidently, the hungry god has grown picky about what crumbs now travel towards his burgeoning throat. It is this strength that concerns me. I have spoken with our friend Bannon over there, a willful vessel of my misguided brother. I knew eventually we would need to enlist my brother's services, though I had hoped we need not do so this soon. Yet, it seems that we have no other choice. We must invoke my dormant brother, slumbering within Bannon's frame. Kitava's horns are a thing of great corruption, which only Innocence's purity can dispel. Before we proceed, I feel I must confide something in you. Bannon wishes me not to speak of it, as he is willing for the sacrifice. However, I feel you should know. Once we invoke Innocence, once we dredge him up from his cocoon inside the soul of Bannon, the man shall cease to be. Only the god shall remain. Do you understand what I say, Exile? If we take this path, Bannon will die. Excruciatingly so. Burnt with purity from the inside out. As I said, Bannon is willing to commit his life to this cause. But perhaps you should say your farewells before we move past the point of no return.
Seriously? And we actually can't. That's actually kind of disappointing. Didn't expect it to kill him. Oh, fucking purity, you're fucking up yet again. When you take a critical strike, it recharges, gets back 3 charges. Nice. Avenger's Divine Life Flask. If I did this, it actually works. Wait, what did I use? Oh, okay, it's, during the flask effect, it's, well, 7 seconds. 0.4% of physical attack damage is leached as life. I'm thinking of... what's here? From above, the troop's scope of carnage is clearly espied? Esped? Yeah? I don't know. It's annoying. I really didn't think it was going to kill him off. That's disappointing. If only there was a another way. You know? Would be nice. I doubt it's the case, but I'm just going to check to make sure no one else is on set. I doubt she's going to take it well. Alright, I'm going to stop for a moment. I'll be back in a sec. Hello, folks, and welcome back. Whoa, sorry, wrong intro. Hey, folks, and I'm back. Sorry. I've kind of one intro for starting this stuff off, one intro for continuing, that kind of thing. And trying to keep them straight, but sometimes, well, I get them confuzzled. I'm just gonna peek my head back in here. Yep, there's more I can brawl with. Seems these will constantly respawn. Whether the rest of them will or not is another matter entirely. These feast attendants will only aggro when you've killed off the rest of them. And then these come in, as does Plague Wing. So you can keep fighting these as much as you want. Wonder if they just keep respawning every time you move in here or what.
My mana is spent.
Also, I'm not too fond of the new thing. Actually, slap it on there. It'll serve me well. I suppose that one is better, in a sense. 100% increased recovery when on low health. We'll go with this. We'll go with it. I think I'm fine. I'll grab the orb of fusing though. We'll continue. Go away across these rooftops again. Desiccated Troll, Shrieking Witch. Katava Zealot. Wonder when Katava will turn on his people and eat them. Christ, they're in the right horde. Huh? Oh yeah, Twisted Effigies. Yes. Kinda forgot all about those. Wonder if we'll get to see, you know, if... I saw one article out there saying that this was the last expansion of the game. As in, Path of Exile is now done after this. But I haven't seen any other one say so. I haven't seen the website say so. There could be very well more expansions post this, where they go after, you know, you killing the gods themselves. I don't know, it just seems like... you know, how do you beat that? Do you kill the rest of the gods? Because it seems like only, you know, a few of the gods have perked up. Well, I'm saying only a few because they keep talking about a god with capital G. We haven't beaten that one down. And, so yeah. Figuring that maybe there's other ones we haven't killed yet. Like we've only killed one of the Carowi Faith. What about the rest? So, yeah. So maybe we go kill off the rest of the gods? Like right now we're just worried about Katava. Which is another one of Carowi Faith, so there's two of them. But they mentioned plenty of. Like there's plenty of them stated in the lore. So, you know, we could, you know, there could be more, you know. Katava's Herald. Do like this whole freezing them thing. I am a fan of that. I am indeed. Alright. More Twisted Effigies. Okay, this area is level 64. I'm actually quite happy with fighting through here. It's gotten a fair amount of XP. Oh, actually, not sure how much XP I've gotten through from fighting here. But I think it's ticking up steadily enough, so I'm quite happy with that. Got a nice chunk out of him. Didn't really get a perceptible tick out of that one.